What is up, YouTube? My name is Brianna Bruno, and I am a software engineer, and I make primarily content about software engineering as well as some finance content here and there. This is going to be a software engineering video, and this is a topic that I see a lot on the internet, and it's, hey, I'm just starting software engineering, what languages should I be learning? What should I be wasting my time on or using my time toward? I see there's a lot of debate about it. Software engineering is kind of something, it's like you're always going to get different information depending on who you're going to ask, right? If you ask someone how to build a shed, they're going to say, oh, well, I'll use a hammer and then I'll use this. Or then if you ask someone else, they'll say, oh, well, you need a nail gun because that's what it is. And at the end of the day, all these different tools that we use, all these different languages and frameworks are really just tools, and we have to think of them the same way. So I'm going to break things up into three different ways. I think that, at least in today's market, there's three different main languages, and there's tons of other, and I don't want to say just by me saying one of these languages means that you shouldn't use these other languages, or just by, I didn't mention your language and it's like, oh, well, he's wrong. It's subjective. I have to give way to that. So the first language that I'll go into will be Java. So Java is actually what I use primarily, what I've been using for the last 3 to 4 years. My whole career has been in Java. And I'll say Java has a few benefits going for it and a few reasons why I would say primarily to learn Java. And again, it's mostly what I use, and that could be swaying me a little bit. The first reason is a huge percentage of market share is actually currently using Java. Most enterprise companies will use Java, specifically in their middleware. But also, it could be used kind of like for a full stack application. It'll be used for backend. It can be used for batch processing. It can be used for a lot of things. And that's why Java, I feel like, is a good fundamental language to learn. You could do web development. You can do Android mobile development with it. You can do, backend microservices and everything the like. So a good... I don't think anyone would ever be annoyed or kind of disappointed that they spent the time to learn Java. So I will definitely say my first pick for learning software development in 2020 would be Java. Now, my second one would be Python. Now, I personally don't have a lot of experience using Python. I haven't had a lot of times where I needed to use Python in general. But I do have to give way that for more data-oriented tasks as well as machine learning stuff, there's a clear-cut decision, I think, in the community overall, and that is to use Python. So if you're more thinking towards going towards, machine learning stuff, working with big data sets and stuff like that, then I think clearly you could be using Python. Again, that's not to say, okay, yeah, you can't do that stuff with Java, but we have to secede to points that, there's really good frameworks in Python for doing this kind of like number manipulation and stuff like that. While there's really good, maybe better web frameworks in Python or in Java versus Python, where, Python, does have Flask and stuff like that, which I don't know much about, but I've used mostly, let's say, Spring Boot in Java. And about as far as Python with market share, I have seen that more and more jobs have been going towards the Python route. So it definitely would be a really good choice to go towards Python, if nothing else than for stability and long-term growth in the job markets. So you have kind of this Java that has a big foothold in more enterprise type jobs, while on the other side you have Python, which has a big foothold in more like startups, and it's even growing. Now the last one that I have is JavaScript. So JavaScript is an interesting one because it's kind of a cheat, right? You have kind of a full stack application you can develop completely in JavaScript. You have your front end frameworks like React and Angular, and at the same time you have your back end, which is like Node. So if you just want to learn one and you want to see the most carryover and you maybe just want to work on web development, then I would definitely say that JavaScript you cannot go wrong in. Again, focusing like on something like Node for your backend, while in the front end you have, maybe like a React or an Angular, like I said before. As far as that, the job numbers on JS are always a little bit more skewed because if you look at any modern web development stack, you're going to have JavaScript involved. So you can't really say, okay, yeah, JavaScript is taking up this percent of the market or JavaScript is growing. I mean, as far as we know right now and as far as we'll see in the future, JavaScript takes up a huge percent of the market. It's only going to be growing, and at least in most web development stacks, you'll at least see a good percent of JavaScript. In 2020, as someone who's just starting to learn software development, I would definitely say those are the top three. So, no particular order: Java, Python, and JavaScript. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Brianna Bruno. If you want to see any more software engineering related content or any finance possibly related content, I make a lot of tutorials and stuff like that. And if there's anything specifically you want to see, just drop it in the comments below. And please leave me a like, subscribe, and a comment. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.